In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up a LinkedIn ads impression cap. My name is Mitchell Gould. I help B2B service and SaaS companies with their LinkedIn ads. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. First, I'll go through what's on my screen, then we'll go into the LinkedIn Ads Campaign Manager and set this up. So what this does, it's going to limit how many impressions a company can receive within a set period, and it'll help you reach more companies across your account list and within your audience. So how it works is it applies an impression cap at the company level and not at the member level. And you do want to be cautious if you're targeting larger companies or you're targeting multiple roles within companies within a single audience, because you don't want to be too restrictive and turn off impressions too early before all the personas can get served an impression. So that's just one thing to keep in mind. And you can set this up and you can watch performance. You can also look at your company's data and see what the impressions look like per company and maybe adjust the level depending on what your data looks like. And then once you enable it, you can always watch performance and adjust it if you need to. And just as an example of one of the impression caps I have set up for one of my clients, this client's a B2B service client and they target employee company sizes around 200 to 500 employees, and they target multiple roles within those companies. And right now we have an impression cap that limits it to 5 impressions within 7 days, and that is a rolling 7 days. So once they hit the 5 impression threshold, they won't get served ads, but as soon as they go below that threshold, they will be eligible to receive ads again. It is dynamic. And how I've measured this in the past is I pulled the companies before running this, and then I pulled another CSV of companies after running this for a period of time, and we looked at how many companies were net new. So were we reaching more companies on our account list that we were targeting? And in this case, we saw 47% of the companies were reached after implementing the impression cap had not been reached during the prior 23-day period. So that suggests that the cap is helping unlock underexposed accounts. And we also saw the average frequency remain lower, which indicates that the cap was helping prevent oversaturation to audience members too. So that's the data we saw. Now I'm going to go into LinkedIn ads and show you how to set this up. So within your LinkedIn ads account, you'll go into the plan section, then click on the companies. This will bring us into the companies hub, and we'll be able to see companies and the impressions for those companies, the paid engagements and other metrics in here. So you can look at the range of what you're seeing for your paid impressions, and you can determine on the threshold that you want to set for the impression cap. And to set this up, you'll go into the filter section here, and we'll set this up for the last 30 days. So it's going to be a dynamic threshold over a 30-day period. And we'll set that threshold by going to the paid impression section, and we'll select custom. And we'll set this to, let's say 10 in this example. So if a company hits 10 impressions within a rolling 30-day period, they'll be excluded from being able to see ads. But once they go below that 10 impression threshold, they'll be eligible again to see ads. And this is going to be a dynamic list, so you don't have to continually update it. It's going to update itself, and we'll apply this to the campaign. The next thing to do is to save this as a company list. So we'll give this a name. So I gave it a name, and we're going to keep this dynamic. So we want this to update automatically over time. We'll save that. Now we'll go into our campaigns and we'll apply this list within our campaigns. So next I'll go into my campaign, go into the advertise section, I'll go to the campaigns tab, and then I'll go and I'll edit a campaign. And then within the campaign, we'll go to the audience section, and we're going to go into the exclusion section. So we want to exclude this list. So we'll click the edit icon, and then we'll go into the audience section here, and we'll go to third party, and we'll click that, and then we'll click third party company, and then we'll see this list that we just added. So it's in the third party company section, and we'll select that list, and then that will add it to our campaign as an exclusion. So we'll exclude those companies in the last 30 days that hit that 10 impression threshold, and that will be set for the campaign. So we have the impression cap set now, and you're all set. So what you should see is that you're reaching more companies within your audience because you're limiting the amount of impressions companies can get, allowing more companies to receive impressions. If you have any questions on that, go ahead and drop them into the comment section. If you've approached this differently, go ahead and let me know how you've done it. And thanks for watching.